Hello, welcome. The days are getting super short, but one thing I do like about this time of year is that I get this direct sunlight in my office studio all afternoon until sunset. So that's, well, all afternoon is really a long shot because our days are so short, but that is what I really do like and appreciate. Anyway, today it's finally time to pot up my Monstera Adansonii cuttings. If you remember, I chopped my Monstera Adansonii Mint and my Philodendron Majestic completely back from their poles onto wet sticks, a couple of like leaf cuttings, and it's finally time to pot them back up, give them a moss pole again. And then I also have some Philodendron Verrucosum that was just a bunch of wet sticks that took a really long time to root and to finally start sprouting and giving me leaves. But those are ready also to be potted up, so we're going to do that together, and I hope that sounds good to you. Let's get started. Before we get started into looking at what's being potted, what's going where, I did have several wet sticks and several cuttings, and I do want to say that I ended up getting rid of some of the Majestic and the Adansonii Mint. Probably, yeah, I don't think the Veracosum yet. So I'm going to show you everything that I have left. Then we will bring them out of wherever they are and kind of decide what I'm keeping and potting up and what I'll be moving on from. So let's start with the Monstera Adansonii Mint. I am so eager to get this plant restarted. It was such a fast grower, rooted so well into the moss pole, and if you watched my video where I chopped it, you know the story of how I underwatered it, and you know, tale as old as time. Don't mind the perlite, it's disgusting. But these are both mid cuts. And this is what I have left. These were initially wet sticks, so no actual leaves were on these when I tried to root them. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves and another on the way. This was another wet stick, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves, and the new growth point is kind of trying to show up there. I really do like how wonky these leaves are. It's so weird, but I just love it. And then from the water propagations that had leaf cuttings, one actually didn't make it, and the other one's still working on it. And surprisingly, it wasn't the top cuts that did well. These are mid cuts, and this is, looks like there's 3 in here, and this is what these look like. And they've all given new leaves since being in here. So that's the Adansonii Mint. The Majestic, this was a wet stick. And I recently just, I think it was too close to the grow light, so it was getting bleached. Looks like the first leaf didn't unfurl correctly. That's okay. So this is what the Majestic wet stick looks like. 1, 2, 3 leaves and 1 on the way. Pretty cute. I like it. And then we have a mid cut. There's a leaf on the way. The top cut, that was the original leaf. Yep. Then it grew this one, and there's another on the way. And I believe this is 2 more mid cuts, I think. So this is 1 leaf. This is another. And it has a lot of really nice roots, but only one of them is barely working on new growth. So I probably won't keep either of these. Probably, let's see. I just want to talk things out with you for a little bit so I can kind of decide. I'm thinking that I want to do 2 vines per plant. We'll take care of the Veracosum last because I just feel that one's just a little different. All of them are kind of in the same stage. Yeah, so I think I want to keep 2 vines per plant. 2 vines? Should I do 3? I don't know. Why don't we, I don't know. Should I do 2 or 3? That's a really good question. I do have all my supplies here and everything, so I think I just need to take a minute and think about what I want. I guess I'm thinking that this Majestic I'll probably let go of, and I'll do 2 of the cuttings, the top cut with one of the mid cuts. And then the Adansonii is really what I have the most of, so I guess we could just take a look. These are really, I mean, I love the wonky leaves. So yes, they are wonky, but they have really good color. So maybe I'll do one of the cuttings with this one. Even though this one is a little, yeah, because this one's, the color is not as prevalent in that one. But maybe I'll do 3 cuttings of the Adansonii. So it could be really bushy. I don't know. I think I just need to take a minute to think about it. What do you usually do? I mean, typically most of my plants that are in poles, I have the one plant, so it's the one just climbing. But now that I have options, oh no, it'd be so hard. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 on the Adansonii. I took a quick break, ate a quick bite, and I think that we'll start building the moss poles just because it's, you know, they're all gonna need kind of the same thing. I'm thinking I'm going to do the Russo on the Adansonii and the and the Verrucosum, and then I'll do the Grow Thickly on the Majestic. No particular reason other than I'm foreseeing which ones are going to grow faster. And I also know the roots and the vine get a lot thicker on the Adansonii Mint. And then, you know, referencing my supply and what I'm gonna have available. So yeah, let's build the moss poles real quick. This is a Russo pole that I was using at one point, and evidently, I don't know what plant it was, but I took it out. And so now, washed it, and here it is. I'm not going to fill the poles all the way up with moss because, I mean, they're a lot of work to maintain, and these plants are, for the most part, pretty small. So I'll just put enough for now, and, you know, I'll fill in as needed. And I'll probably speed this up just because you've seen me do these lots of times. The only thing I'll note, and I think I did mention this in a previous moss pole video, is that I started using the New Zealand sphagnum moss exclusively, and it's just such a game changer for so many reasons. Like the difference in quality, whoops, I just broke one. The difference in quality is just undeniable. Like, it's just so good. So we have our first pole, and I'll make the other 2. we're at the point where I need to decide which ones I'm keeping. I think for sure this top cut has really beautiful roots. And it did grow 2 leaves. So I think this one for sure. And then I guess let's investigate the others. Does this have... Oh, it's just fuzz. I was like, does this have spider mites? This is the first leaf. And then, oh, this is the donor leaf. This is the first leaf. And then here's another one. Okay. I'm not super impressed. But we're not going to write them out yet. Write them off yet. And then here is another. Oh, they both have new growths. And here is the other. I'm thinking this one just because it has the better root system. Does it have a better root system? Yeah. So this is the one with the strongest root system. So I think that that's what I'm basing this decision on. And then when these push out like 1 or 2 more new leaves, then I can move on from those. But okay, this was actually easier than I thought. So we'll do these 2. Look at that. So nice. I'm gonna use one of these. I think these are 5.5 inch, and I'll be using my Aroid mix. So I said I was gonna do the grow thickly for these. I need to push this. Yeah, that's good. This is probably my least favorite part. Actually, I'm gonna bring the bin over here to try to avoid some of the mess. Such a dance to get this done. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but well, you know that, I like to measure with the heart, but I do try to keep my recipe like a little consistent, just because I know that that's what it is, but I do kind of eyeball it, and I just feel like, that's what I get for trying to show off. I just feel like this particular batch just turned out so good. Oh my gosh, don't do this to me. There you go. And I think this one I'm going to pot just a little bit higher up so that I don't bury this entire cutting. also is coming from like right here. Look how nice this mix looks. I really, really, really dig it. Okay. So I know that this one looks a little funny, but that's the donor leaf. The vine is actually right in there, and that should grow up. Okay. It's all set, and he looks so cute. Oh, I'm really loving this one. I cannot wait for it to start growing again. Okay. Now I think we decided on these. Am I doing all of them? How many are in here? Look at these. Looks like 3. Do I really want to do 4? So this is 1. This is another. And here's the 3rd. Actually, I think I'm gonna do these 3 just because this one has the smallest root system and it's only given out 1 new leaf. So we'll do that, I think. I feel good about that. Do kind of want to rinse these roots though. This is just water. Oh, I can tell this is one of the wet sticks that had some roots because there's still a little bit of sphagnum moss on them, which is fine. Here we go. So that's good. This one too. If you want to catch up on that video where I chopped them all up, I'll link it. That was such a sad day, but it had to be done. Look how chunky. I am into it. And then I'm like hunched over right now because the light that I like may be just affecting the light overall of the video, but when my face is not getting hit that way, I think that the light is better. I don't know. You tell me. It's my ever-evolving knowledge and trial and error of camera settings. That's a pretty good root system. And I don't think this is one that had previous roots already because I don't see any of the sphagnum moss on it. I wouldn't typically worry about removing the perlite, but it does have like some of that gross algae, so let's get rid of it if we can. I'm good with this. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Now, in case you're thinking that I forgot Myco yet again, as I do, I did not. I am going to be adding Myco, and I'll show you that at the end. Let me clean up a tiny bit, and I will bring out the Veracosum, and I think we might have to think a little bit more about what exactly we're doing with that one. So, be right back. I also brought a batch of fresh water because the Verrucosums are in perlite, and I mean, pretty sure, safe to say it's gonna be gross also. Let me grab them. So I have them living in this box for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. I've been having like something just here on the corner, leaving the door open in prep for this. I also have some escaletos, but I don't really see as many roots on these yet. And considering I struggled with it pretty hard. But anyway, okay, so here is one. Oh my God. They're starting to get the super fuzzy petioles, stems, whatever. So cute. Here's number 2. And here's number 3. So I honestly thought that I would keep all 3 of these. I've let go of some, I believe, as well, but yeah, I was honestly kind of thinking that I would just keep them all since I struggled with it pretty significantly. These were all wet sticks, no leaf cuttings. Yeah. What do you think? Or should I just do 2? I feel like this one for sure. It has the biggest leaf, right? I feel like this one's the one that looks maybe the least best. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do all 3. Don't judge me. Okay, first things first, we gotta get rid of this nasty perlite. All the perlite in the center, by the way, is perfectly fine. It's just like the outside that can see the light. I normally wouldn't bother the roots and I would just leave the perlite there, but oh no, broke some roots. But if we can get rid of some of this gross algae, it's a plus. This is good enough for me. Okay. Next. That looks good. This one was honestly not as bad. And that works for me. I had brought this for maybe the Veracosum, but I think, like, looking at all of these roots, I think it'll do fine in that same 5.5-inch pot that I used for the others. So I think we'll just do that. And the moss pole is over here. Made a little bit more of my aroid mix before starting to film, and I was like, that's plenty, but it's really not that much. Let's get rid of this leaf. Kind of want to get rid of this one too. Okay, this one. We'll leave the others. And you are growing this way. I hope 3 vines is not overwhelming for the pole. I just kind of want some insurance, you know? We're gonna get rid of this leaf. I don't know, I think I'm gonna keep that one. Okay. And then we'll get rid of this one and this one. And you are growing this way. I cannot wait. So the leaves are a little, you know, funny and they're facing all sorts of places, but once they have like that light source and start climbing, they are going to start looking so much better. So don't worry. Let me see if I can just get these vines anchored on. Just already. Oops. I'm going to use some grafting tape. I know that a lot of people use these front opening poles to just guide the vines in there, but I had trouble with my esqueleto where the leaf, I didn't catch it in time and it started growing in there, and that was a problem. And then also I find that this grafting tape is really helpful in having them roots in here. Because it holds more moisture right on the node. Sorry, didn't finish my thought there. Actually, I need to do that without this guy. Here we go. I will admit, grafting tape is kind of like a giant pain to work with, but I do find that it works, so I guess that's all that matters. Okay. So I have that top node attached on all three of the vines, and then I'm just gonna let these do whatever they want to do for now. But he's all set. I think he looks so cute. Do you agree? Look how beautiful that color is. And then the backs. Look at that. Look how beautiful. And then the fuzzy petiole or stems, like just stems, petioles, I don't know. It's just such a beautiful plant. I really hope that I do well with it. I'm very excited. I have high hopes. Okay, now we just need to water them through. Let me clean up a bit again. I'm gonna add some myco and then this other like repot support nutrients. But yeah, let me just clean up and then we'll do that. We are at our home stretch, so I'm gonna be adding myco, obviously. Also the repot recovery, and then some probiotics. So this isn't sponsored or anything, but Soul Soils just came out with their bionutrients line, and there's actually 4 things. So there's these 4, and then there's a biochar worm castings. And what I like about these is that several of them, they tell you in the back, but you can either water them in with your water, you can do a top dressing on some of them, or you can even do a foliar spray. So I just love all these options because we all know I forget to add myco to the roots all the time. So the repot recovery can be done as a foliar spray or as a water. as a watering in, and the myco should be watered in. So we're gonna add both of those to our water. These are brand new, I haven't used them, but I'm super excited. You know I love Soul Soils. I think it's the best pre-made aroid mix you can buy. I do also use their orchid mix, and my orchids do great in that. And they have the most chunky perlite also that I love. I mean, just all around, great. I've also had, oh my gosh, just some of it started spilling out. What I was saying is I've also met Travis in person, and he's just such a wonderful human. Okay, repot recovery. You can water in, add 1 teaspoon per gallon. This is a liter, and we know I tend to measure with the heart. Oh, so they have this, but then there's also a little scooper in there. So we're gonna do just like, I don't know, I'm gonna measure with the heart, so just about this much. Add that back in there. The myco says 2 teaspoons per gallon, so we'll do more like half, I guess, since it's a liter here. Occurred to me I didn't bring anything to stir this with. So we are gonna get creative. Just gonna use this scoop. And while that's marinating, we're gonna do the top dressings. So this is the necessary nutrients. Top dress, 2 teaspoons around on the top of the soil of each plant monthly. Okay, seems easy. So here's our teaspoon. Just gonna sprinkle this in. Okay. Next, and there's our third plant. Oh. I can't believe this just happened. I just did this. I wonder. No. Okay, we're gonna have to redo that. Let's do the final top dressing, which is the soil. Oh, actually, I don't think I'm gonna do this one today. This is the biochar and warm castings, but I have a little bit of warm castings already in my mix, so I'm not going to do that one. Let's redo the Majestic. Actually, let's just water these real quick. Since we're here, I cannot believe I did that. Have you done that before? Oh, it's very dark. Do you see it? Because these are coming from water, I'm just gonna let this soak in here for a bit. And then these are coming from perlite, so I'm not as worried on these. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need to get more water for the Majestic. Love you. Okay, so let's just add the top dressing real quick, which was necessary nutrients, top dressing. And let me go grab more water. Back with my water, let's add the repot recovery. Again, just measuring with the heart here. I'm surprised they got so dark. These are like really light. They're like really light gray, the micro and the repot recovery. But then they must activate in water, and actually, no, but still, because I have the bug hat nutrients in here as well, like my whole nutrient cocktail, and then I'm adding this to that. In one of the bug hats, I think the de-stressor is a little orangey brownish, but my water is always like fairly clear, so it definitely has to be whatever is in these soil nutrients. Okay. These are also coming from water, so I'm gonna let these soak in here a little bit longer. Okay, that's it. 1, 2, and 3. I think they look so cute, and I am so excited to be growing these out again. If you have successfully grown a Veracosum, please give me all your tips. I struggled with it quite a bit, and otherwise it's really my job to stay on top of the moss pole so that I don't lose these bottom leaves on these other two, because they did grow great for me. It was just a me problem. This brings us to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let's chat down in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.